Could you describe for our listening audience what the actual landing was like? Can you close your eyes for a moment and just describe what your experiences were as you approached that coast? And
well, first of all, I started to tell you earlier about being on these Channel steamers. They were manned by British Navy. So we're on a British ship, our American Commando or Ranger. So we get into our landing craft, which is a small landing craft for that type of transport. About 25 guys in the landing craft. We had 9 of them. We lost 2 of them sunk with the sea on our way in. Now, as we left the transports, 4 o'clock in the morning, it's a 2-hour run from the transport area. I have a parking plan for all the several thousands of invasion ships that I'll show you as they laid off there and offloaded the men that went into the LCAs. Well, that means the landing craft assault, as you well know. They're the ships, anything that says LC has landing craft for tanks, for equipment, and vehicles and men and everything. Were going, and we were in this column of the LCAs from our several Channel steamers heading. We weren't paying attention at first, but suddenly we were looking at where this coxswain of our landing craft is leading us, and he chose the wrong point. He chose the point of Point de la Percée, which was an assignment for a C company of our battalion. So Colonel also picked up it. He was in the lead craft. He directed them to go right, turn right here sharply. So we had to run a gauntlet.
Who was the colonel that you just referred to?
James Earl Rudder, a great man, a wonderful man who rose all the way to a Major General and President of Texas A&M University. But he was quite a guy. I can tell you more about him later. But anyway, he led us along. So we're running a gauntlet along the coast, the cliffs. You see, people think Omaha Beach. They only envision a beach. Well, Omaha is the landing area is called Omaha. That's about 6-7 miles wide. That's our landing area. But only 1/3 on the east flank is sandy beach, like we know it in Ocean and Monmouth County beaches, or bigger. The 2/3 of it is cliffs and high grounds and abutments. So here we are going to the wrong point. Colonel calls it to his attention, gets his coxswain to take us. He runs us about 200 to 300 yards off these high abutments westwardly to go to Point de Hoc, which is where our mission is. And the Germans are up there on that cliff firing at us with all kinds of weapons, machine guns, heavy machine guns, mortars, anything, trying to get us on the way up. So we got to ride 3 miles under. You can't fight back. So we get up there to Point de Hoc on the extreme right flank of Omaha Beach, what a part of the Omaha Beach landing area. My boats were supposed to go around the point and land from the west side of the point. But we were running late because of a mistake, and I said, the heck with this. My company commander's boat was sunk, and 2 of my boats were sunk. I only had a couple left. And I said, well, let's jam them right in among the other guys from E&F Company, which we did. And as the ramps went down, the leader, a boat leader, and I was one, goes straight off. Well, I caught a machine gun slug in the right side, knocked me off with all the stuff in my hands that I was carrying on shore, and I went out of sight over my head. Because you see, a crater from a bomb in the water, you can't see it on the water, how deep that crater is under the water. We didn't know it was there. So we had a heck of a time getting ashore, and we did, and we rushed over to the bottom of the cliff. By the way, as you approach the beach, we have buttons to push with launchers on the gunnels of the landing crafts that send these hooks up, grapnel hooks, that go about 150 feet over the top into the inland, hook in, and of course that rope coming down the cliff for us, it builds a traction. You could never pull that out. Well, of course, they were up there cutting some of them, and the Germans, and trying to shoot us off the ropes as we're trying to go hand over hand, 100 feet up in the air. And we traveled in light with only our weapons. But we made it, and rather quickly, I think it was 10, 15 minutes, we were up there.